Hello everybody, my name is the Geekimist and welcome to my Pokemon predictions video for the 30th anniversary. So we're going to be talking about what I think is going to be predicted during the Pokemon Presents. We're going to also discuss some points that have already been sort of revealed throughout the year so far and talk about where I think we're going to land during the Pokemon predictions for this year. I have a few guesses and a few ideas and we're going to get into them right now. So guys, my name is the Geekimist. If you like Pokemon content, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. So in January, we saw the announcement of the LEGO and Pokemon collaboration, which gave us LEGO Pikachu, LEGO Eevee, and LEGO Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. I think that during Pokemon Presents, we're going to get an announcement for a bit more LEGO Pokemon sets that are going to come out throughout the year. And my best guess is we're going to see the announcement of the LEGO starter evolutions for probably the remainder of the generations that come out throughout the rest of the year. Or the very, very easy to do would be a LEGO Mewtwo set. That'd probably sell like hotcakes. And of course, that's my very first prediction for what we'll see during this year. My next thing that will probably be talked about during the Pokemon Presents as my prediction is we're going to hear more details about the Pokemon Day Out and Night Out events that are going to happen this year for the 30th anniversary. I'm a little interested to see what these events are going to be. By the sounds out, the Day Out events are going to be in short events that are more catered to family with young children, while the Night Out events seem like they'll be a little bit more tailored towards a older audience. So I'm curious what these events are going to look like. My big prediction is going to be that these are going to, at the very least, they're going to be trying to make families and all that kind of happy. And I imagine that a portion of the Pokemon Presents is going to cover that. At least that's my guess. Now that we're past things that were revealed prior to the release of the trailer, or prior to the Presents, now I can actually talk about just things I think are fully in the Presents. Of course, I think that the Presents is going to start out with a big montage showing off 30 years of Pokemon, which I finally hope Pokemon Coliseum and XD get to be in this montage. They've been just not put in there, and it's kind of a dying shame. On top of that, I think we're also going to see Pokemon President come out, give us our greetings, and I think that's where our Presents is really going to start cooking. And without putting up anything video related, I think that afterwards we're probably going to get a presentation from the eSport guy talking about Pokemon Champions this year. Not Pokemon Champions, the app, but Pokemon Champions, the actual physical location. I think we're going to find out more about where about the tournament, how it's going to look. So I imagine that's probably how they're going to start this whole series up. Editor note here, I need to add that they recently did announce the official release for the Pokemon Presents, which will be on February 27th at 9 a.m. I will be live streaming, and I just want to add this quick interjection. Now let's get back to the video. So, let's get into what I'm going to be calling the video guessing portion of this, where I think different things Pokemon's going to put up as animated projects. So when it comes to anime and anime related projects, I think of course we're going to see more updates related to Pokemon Horizons, probably more information on where they're going to be going forward with the series. Personally, I am behind on Horizons, especially because of the weird difference between how the anime is done in Japan and how the anime is done here in the States, because we have that whole Netflix batches that drop versus like us getting week to week. So I do think we're probably going to see more information related to Horizons. And then because we usually get one of these kind of series, I think we're going to get some kind of series related like Origins or something that's a Pokemon Generations type animation that's probably going to throughout the year post on the Pokemon main channel, maybe once a month. Pokemon Origins and Pokemon Generations was a lot of fun, and I could see them just subtly dropping another one of these series out of left field. And I think that it's very likely we'll see that. Also, wouldn't be too shocked if we saw Pokemon Conzior get a new announcement for a series. Now, in terms of movies, I don't know. We haven't had a Pokemon movie since the Zarude movie, and it's hard to say if Pokemon is just done with movies, because Horizons just seems like they deal with Pokemon within the anime itself, versus like back in the day where Ash's Journey usually didn't come across legendaries, or if they did, they were a little bit more special episodes. So I don't know. Personally, I don't think we're going to get a movie announcement. But hey, if we do, I'll definitely take it. At least that's my own... those are my thoughts on the animated projects. I don't see any live action projects being announced for Pokemon this year. It's just not something I see them really pushing for. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the card game, which we're going to talk about both Pokemon TCG and Pokemon TCG Pocket here. One of the things that we know that in March, we're going to be getting Pokemon Perfect Order. And I imagine a big thing we'll be seeing there is just more announcements of what's going to be in that set. Probably with a cinematic trailer and a da-da-da-da-da, you know, that kind of thing. But also, I wouldn't be shocked if there's some kind of nostalgia pack that's going to be revealed during the present as well. Probably something related to red and green, red, blue, you know. Something related to that, given the old, you old farts who love Kanto, all what you want for Pokemon Presents. And then, of course, TCG Pocket is going to be doing a big push into Paldea with Paldean Wonders. Which, you know, hey, that's the, you know, people love Paldea, let's do it. Now, one thing I do know outside of game is I've seen that apparently DNA has announced they are or not announced, but internally, and it's been leaked to the public, the DNA is having a retention problem with Pokemon TCG Pocket. And it's not hard to see why. It's too many sets released too quickly, especially within its first year, with only about a month and a half during the original release of the first set, and then like every month afterwards. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with TCG Pocket without emptying your wallet into the app. But hey, hopefully Paldean Wonders will bring people back to the application, and they can Pokemon can keep the application going. Now, next we're going to move on to the mobile section, where obviously, now, Unite's, you know, Night and Cafe Remix are on both console and, you know, mobile, but we're pretty much just going to be calling this the mobile portion. I believe Pokemon Unite's going to get its next 3 Pokemon announced. Probably a new raid boss that's related to legendary Pokemon announced. And I wouldn't be too shocked if we see some fan-favorite Pokemon or some Mega Evolution coming in, since ZA was a big push towards Mega Evolution. Pokemon Masters EX, I'm predicting we're going to see a flood of ZA characters start to show up. I would say probably the main members of ZA first, maybe AZ himself. Hell, maybe even L shows up and would have a funny interaction with Lysander. Then, of course, Pokemon Cafe Remix is going to have some cute, fluffy thing announced. Probably maybe Mega Evolution, or probably just some kind of shiny, mythical, legendary announcement to make, you know, get on the Cafe Remix. Sorry, folks, I don't play these, so my insight into these applications are bare bones, to say the least. I've tried all 3 of them, and it just, I don't keep up with them enough. So this part of the video is kind of lame. I apologize for not very good insight. Pokemon Go is going to get its own special little part of this prediction video, because I have some predictions for the application this year, and that is dependent upon how Pokemon Go interacts with Generation 10. Now, one thing I'm going to say is I do not think we're going to get all remaining less than 100 Pokemon prior to the release of whatever Generation 10 is. We'll talk about Gen 10 later on. But no, I think a big thing for Generation Pokemon Go this year is going to be really pushing into the Paradox Pokemon. Probably, I'd say maybe the end of spring going into the summer months. And also, I would imagine because of them showing up in the Who's Your Favorite Pokemon list, I would imagine that maybe Mimikyu and the 3 mythical Pokemon that are missing from Sinnoh might finally get released. I also have a prediction that Zygarde, Eternatus, and Spinda will still not be able to be transferred into Pokemon Home. I just think those guys are stuck for a very long time. And those will be 3 spots that won't be completed in your Pokemon Go to Home decks. And also, let's just say I could see Pokemon Go really pushing heavy into Mega Pokemon, especially with the new Super Mega raids they're doing just for these Pokemon. And, the whole, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the idea of making another tier of Mega raids. And I think it's not a good look. But, hey, Scopely's going to do what they do for better or worse. Another thing I think we're going to see is we'll see the announcement for the Pokemon Home update. That's going to let you transfer ZA Pokemon into your Pokemon Home account. And also, if any other Pokemon games that could connect to Home are released this year, we'll talk about those in a bit. I imagine that maybe they'll slowly get implemented in the Pokemon Home, or maybe not at all, depending on what Pokemon wants to do with potential extra Pokemon games that may or may not release this year. And I imagine that Pokemon Home will probably come out middle of May, end of May. That's a pretty safe bet, just because that seems to be Ilka's time frame for putting out these Pokemon Home updates. So I wouldn't be too shocked if that's how that happens. Alright, now let's talk about 2 things we know for a fact at this time that are coming out this year. Of course, with Pokemon Pokopia, I imagine that is going to be announced. We already know when it's coming out in March, very beginning. I imagine a big thing for this is we'll get one last trailer that's going to show off some fun stuff, maybe a new feature that hasn't been shown off yet. I wouldn't be too shocked if it gets at least a 2-minute trailer because it's coming out so close to release. And then, of course, the most confusing one of all is Pokemon Champions, the app for the Switch and the mobile devices that's also supposedly releasing this year. A big thing I'm going to say here is I think Pokemon Champions has 3 potential windows to release. I could see Pokemon Champions launching in March/April, being early enough in the year where it can get some support, some champions or updates from Scarlet and Violet, maybe some ZA Megas. Also, I could see it being held off until after Pokemon Worlds this year and releasing it around that time frame. Having a big trailer for it, and then at the very end of the trailer saying it's available today. Or it could be held off until like September, October, towards the end of the year, which I don't think they'll do, but it's also the Pokemon Company. Sometimes they like to overlay their products. I could see Champions potential. I honestly think Champions is going to probably launch after Pokemon Worlds. That's my greatest bet, just because we haven't really seen a lot of information related to Champions. I do think Champions is going to get maybe a 3-4 minute section of the Pokemon Presents. I wouldn't be too shocked if we've seen that coming this year. But hey, that's at least all I can say about those 2. Now here's where we start to get into a bit of speculation. Mind you, I will say this is my most speculative part of the video. Of course, Pokemon Colosseum and XD Darkness have been announced by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company to be coming to the Switch Online application via the GameCube. My guess is that one of them, Colosseum, will launch on Pokemon Day, and that XD Darkness will launch 2 months later, potentially. But I guarantee they will be coming out this year. At least, that's my speculation. where I get into speculation, but rumors I've heard is that that we're going to be getting individually released Pokemon games on the Switch eShop. Or, at the very least, we're going to be getting Fire Red Leaf Green. Well, hold up, past me. Actually, after I recorded this section of the video, Fire Red and Leaf Green have officially been announced to be coming out on Pokemon Day this year. For $20 each, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green will be launching on the Nintendo Switch. Now, the question there is compatibility with Pokemon Home. Initially, these products have said about having compatibility with Pokemon Home, but now they're removed that, so it's questionable if these will connect. They will connect with each other, and we do not know if the legendary mythical events that were available back during that era, if they'll be available at launch, or if they'll have momentary events that allow you to do this. Now, with this, the speculation's got to be asked if we'll be able to play the individual games of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald on top of this. And I guess an additional question is, will Fire Red and Leaf Green be able to be connected to Colosseum and XD via some kind of connection with Pokemon Online, the Switch Online, or not? But this is pretty interesting to see that they are announcing Fire Red and Leaf Green as individual Pokemon games on the Switch. Is $20 a steep price? Well, go out and try to buy an authentic one. Tell me just how much you're going to pay there. I think this isn't a bad price. And yeah, I think this is pretty interesting. Here's hoping that Pokemon Emerald itself, I don't care about Ruby and Sapphire, just give me Emerald, baby. Come to the Switch too. We'll see. And before we get too far away from our final major slam dunk prediction, let's talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Legends EA. Now, Scarlet and Violet, I believe, will just continue on with its Mightiest Mark weekends that are happening right now with reruns of all the starters. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see some kind of outbreak event that's going to give us the Pokeball Pavilion finally within Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Finally making the last form of Pavilion available publicly, and it'd be a big nice send-off to Pokemon Legends, or Pokemon Scarlet Violet, I mean. And Pokemon Legends ZA, I believe, will finally announce Mega Garchomp Z officially and make it available probably through the next season of Pokemon Pokemon ZA's ranked seasons, or they'll put it out via one of those action what raids where you have to have battle in the mega raids, I guess you'd call them. I don't know what they're officially called. Interesting. But I do not see like ZA getting something like the update Arceus got on Pokemon Day. Just because we got the DLC, I don't see us getting any kind of major update that way. Or at the very least, that's how I see it. I think Scarlet and Violet and ZA are both going to be pretty much done by time the next prediction I have here, and the biggest, the biggest snowball I'm going to throw you guys on this one, and my biggest copiumception of all. Yep, here it is, the final prediction before we get to the end of this video. And it is the potential release of Pokemon Wind and Waves. Thanks to the, big terror leak that we had a few years ago, we know a lot about Pokemon Wind and Waves already. We have map data, we have descriptions of starters, we have Pokemon trainer models, we have an idea how we have map data already for Pokemon Winds and Waves, and it's insane that we have this information, and it's kind of guaranteed, more or less, that it's going to get announced at the very end, being the one last thing kind of trailer. It is insane that we have this, because of the terror leak, we have so much information about Wind and Waves, and it kind of, I don't know, it takes a little bit of the steam out of it, but, I mean, who didn't think we were going to get Generation 10 this year? It's been so long. It's been 4 years since Scarlet and Violet came out. It was about time we had a new generation of Pokemon. I don't feel too comfortable going into grave detail everything we have. There's a prediction that we're probably getting roughly 100 new Pokemon. We have broad idea about the starters, and I don't want to cover that until it's officially released, because like it's leaked information. And even Winds and Waves could have changed names since since the Terra Leak season. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's one of those things where I want to talk more, but I don't want to talk more. But so that is my prediction video, everybody, and my thing is I'm going to be doing a live stream on Pokemon Days, live reacting to the stream. And if you guys want to follow me, just Pokemon Day, I'll have a live stream up and going. And if anything is announced or released that day, we'll play through it, rather it be Scarlet and Violet, ZA, or if maybe one of these Virtual Console games release and I get to play some Emerald, heck yes. So guys, I am the Geekimist, huge Pokemon player and lover, and I hope to see you guys there in the next one. Also, if you guys have any Pokemon videos you'd like to have made, rather covering historical topics about the franchise, me reviewing any of the games, or Pokedex entries, just let me know. Let's leave them in the comment section down below. Hope to catch you guys next year, and 30 years of Pokemon, we got a lot to do. Geek out.